And welcome back to Square Off. Things got a little testy in my interview with the governor. He accused me and Sunday Square Off and the media at large of distortions of his record and the state of our schools. Judge is deciding right now whether to allow the school voucher expansion, the initiative that would block it, on the ballot in November. It lets more parents use taxpayer dollars to pay for private and religious schools. If this goes to the ballot, will you ask the legislature to repeal it?
Let's see what happens. I want the voters, of course, are going to have their say on this. What I think is that this is a good law. I think it provides one more additional tool for choice. I think it's limited, it's capped, it's gradual. It's 5,000 kids that it would affect in a universe of 1.1 million, 1,100,000 school children. So I think that these educational savings accounts, the flexibility for whether it's textbooks or tutors or educational therapy, tuition that a student would need, I want to provide that choice to parents. And like I said, I think it's a good idea, and I think it's a small idea, and we'd see what kind of policy it would be and how it would work if it would come to life.
It has grown over the last several years, and it was presented to voters as something Arizona parents wanted, and yet at a Koch Brothers donor summit last year, you were reported as saying you needed the power of the network to get this expansion passed. So the question is, why is Arizona education policy being set by or outsourced
Bram,
to?
that's a distortion. That's
a direct quote. You're saying that didn't happen?
I set Arizona policy with our legislature and our education community.
You thank the Koch Brothers
because
network.
I have to overcome the media oftentimes of how they talk about Arizona education.
So you need the Koch Brothers to overcome people like me?
I need resources so I can communicate directly with the voters, because oftentimes on this show on Sunday morning, all that's happening is dumping on Arizona education rather than talking about the excellence that we have inside our system. And then I'm addressing what resources we can bring so that we can further improve it across the state for all of our kids.
So what exactly did the Koch Brothers network do aside from helping to counter things that people like me might say on a Sunday morning?
Well, I would say it's more the educational champion or educational choice network that I'm addressing. People that this is a issue of passion for them. They want to see improvement in public education across the board.
And they're doing this in states all over the country, including Arizona.
No one is doing more than the state of Arizona in terms of choice. Our districts and in charters are improving faster than any other state in the country. We've led on school choice, and I've said we're going to continue to lead on school choice. I think it's making all of our public schools better.
I want to end our education discussion with what's become a sore point for teachers and indeed many taxpayers. The raises you gave out to your staff, fairly hefty over the last 2 years. Department of Administration
I think that's inaccurate.
Also giving out fairly hefty raises. Teachers, as you know, got a 1% stipend, which is basically a one-time bonus of several $100s.
Bram, this is a distortion. Okay,
distortion.
Can I answer?
Please.
This is a distortion. The amount of dollars that have been put forward since I came into office available for teacher raises have been 9%. That's the amount of dollars. There has not been one additional dollar spent in the governor's office since I came into office. The reporter on this does not know the difference between a promotion and a raise, but we're living within the budget that we inherited when we came into office, and there are 5,000 fewer state employees in our state government. We've been able to do that through attrition and through retirement, efficiencies, and technology. I know how to tighten a belt. I know how to balance a budget. We're doing that in the governor's office, and we're putting these new available dollars into K-12 education, $1.7 billion additional since I came into office. Those are the facts.
So I agree with much of that, yet the percentage increases are fairly high. And, you know, teachers, you can't control, their budget. They can't cut costs to get a larger paycheck for themselves. The money you referred to for the raises, again, Prop 123, largely that, what they see is 1% from the governor and the legislature this year and next. Your initial offer last year was, 2% over 5 years.
Bram, what they've seen, you've got to look at the total education funding. And I don't think that it comes with an earmark on a check that shows where the dollars came from. They come from the general fund, and that total, while not enough, has been 9% in terms of additional dollars since 2015. Prop 123 has been part of that. Like I said, it settled a years-long lawsuit that I inherited. We want to see more dollars get there. In this year's budget, it's going to be $100 million. So I've said we need more, but those are the facts in terms of what we're doing.
So
and we're not cutting K-12 education. We have protected K-12 education. We've protected that, public safety, and child safety. These savings and efficiencies have come from elsewhere in our state government since 2015.
Yet, a lot of people in the audience will point out funding for K-12 is still about $1 billion, $900 million less than it was at its peak.
And
that's a big mountain to climb, I know, but how close are we to even making a dent in that?
Well, I think, one, we've made tremendous improvements in the last 3 years, and I think there's more to do. And what we're doing this year with a $371 million commitment over the next 5 years, and then we're going to have the opportunity in 2020 on what's going to be a renewed or new and improved Prop 301, and I think that's going to be a generational opportunity for improvement in public policy and funding for K-12 education.